Saturday, 12 March, The Gap News This Morning, podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah. Good morning. First, the headlines. AG urged to explain conflicting statements over Sulu heirs. Singapore holds back on border reopening date. Woman slapped for making noise in kitchen, cops to probe. Court orders government to accord freehold status to 24 Kapong house owners. Biden warns US intervention in Ukraine would mean World War III. India accidentally fires missile into Pakistan, says Defense Ministry. And Emma Raducanu set to face Caroline Garcia at Indian Wells. And now the news in full. The Attorney General has been urged to explain conflicting statements about the government's position on the heirs of the Sulu Sultanate, who had pressed their claims on Sabah. A senior lawyer, Hanif Khatri Abdullah, said there was a conflict between the AG's statement and the British lawyer's claim, which he said could affect Malaysia's credibility. The Attorney General's chambers had earlier said that Putrajaya did not recognise claims filed by the heirs of the Sulu Sultanate. However, a London-based lawyer of the heirs said former Attorney General Tommy Thomas had formally recognised the claimants and their rights for years and had been directly and individually involved with the heirs. The question mark over the recognition of the heirs arises from a disputed arbitration award of at least 62.59 billion ringgit or US $14.92 billion to the descendants of the last Sulu Sultan. The government said the arbitration award was illegal and was not recognized. Officials in Singapore say they are working out detailed arrangements with Malaysia regarding the reopening of the Malaysian border on April 1st, but will not commit to a firm date for reopening the Singapore side. Trade Minister Gan Kim Yong, co-chair of the COVID-19 task force, said the reopening of the border was a major undertaking. We don't think we can predetermine the date, but this is something we are watching closely. And when conditions allow, then we can talk about reopening, he said according to Bernama. Gunn said the Republic is working out the detailed operation arrangements with Malaysia and will share more details when it's ready. Transport and immigration authorities were working out operational details to ensure that when we are able to allow more traffic to cross, it can be done smoothly and safely, said Gunn. Police will investigate an incident involving a woman allegedly slapping a housemate for making noise in the kitchen. The incident that took place in Bandar Utama Damansara was allegedly recorded on a CCTV camera before it went viral on social media last Sunday. Petaling Jaya District Police Chief Fakhruddin Abdul Hamid said the police received a report from the woman who claimed to have been beaten by her housemate. The High Court here has ordered the Kuala Lumpur Lands and Mines Department Director General to convert 24 houses in Taman Bukit Maluri in Kapong to freehold properties. Judicial Commissioner Avril Maria Peters said the applicants could not be denied the right to property under the Federal Constitution. In their originating summons filed last August, the applicants, who are either owners of double or single-story homes, said the 1903 master title belonged to a rubber plantation owned by Edinburgh Rubber Estates with freehold status. Subsequently, in 1973, the plantation owner transferred the land to Syarikat Permodalan Kebangsaan Berhad for a housing project developed by Syarikat Maluri Sendirian Berhad. However, the status of the land was changed to leasehold. Pratham said the residents had attempted to resolve the problem administratively, including writing to the Prime Minister's department, but had been unsuccessful. Finally, they had no choice but to seek legal redress, he told Free Malaysia Today. Thank you for being with us in this podcast group. You are listening to The Gap News, coming to you from Kuala Lumpur with reports from Free Malaysia Today, The Vibes and the BBC World Service. The Gap News is also available on the internet news portal Melaka Hari Ini. More to come, news from the international front. US President Joe Biden restates that his country will not directly intervene militarily against Russia in Ukraine. He warns that US forces fighting Russia would mean World War III. Russia makes claims without evidence of US biological weapons activities in Ukraine at a meeting of the UN Security Council. UN Disarmament Chief Izumi Nakamitsu says the UN is not aware of any biological weapons program in Ukraine. The US has called such claims laughable and says they are a false flag to justify Russia's potential use of similar weapons against Ukraine. Ukraine has suggested Belarus could join Russia's invasion in the coming hours. The US has announced more restrictions on trade with Russia, including a ban on imports of Russian vodka and diamonds. Russia has expanded its offensive in Ukraine, attacking the cities of Lutsk, Ivano-Frankivsk, and Dnipro. Meanwhile, the Kremlin has restricted access to Instagram after its parent company changed its rules to allow violent sentiment towards Russian forces. India's military accidentally fired a missile into neighboring Pakistan, New Delhi's Defense Ministry said, calling it deeply regrettable. Hindu-majority India and Muslim Pakistan have fought 3 wars since independence from British colonial rule in 1947. 2 of them over the disputed territory of Kashmir. Their shared border has a heavy military presence on both sides, and there have been numerous flare-ups between them, with tensions sometimes raising fears of an atomic exchange. In the course of a routine maintenance, a technical malfunction led to the accidental firing of a missile on Wednesday, India's Defense Ministry said. It did not specify the type of missile, but said it landed in an area of Pakistan. The incident was deeply regrettable, it said, adding that it was a matter of relief that there had been no loss of life due to the accident. And now for some sports news. Emma Raducanu is set to play Caroline Garcia of France in Indian Wells, despite being told there was no chance she would be fit. The US Open champion had to retire with a leg injury when playing Daria Saville in Guadalajara 2 weeks ago. Raducanu had a first-round bye here in California, while Garcia, who has been as high as 4 in the world, beat Diana Yastremka of Ukraine. To end the bulletin, here are the headlines again. AG urged to explain conflicting statements over Sulu heirs. Singapore holds back on border reopening date. Woman slapped for making noise in kitchen, cops to probe. Court orders government to accord freehold status to 24 Kepong house owners. Biden warns US intervention in Ukraine would mean World War III. India accidentally fires missile into Pakistan, says Defense Ministry. And Emma Raducanu set to face Caroline Garcia at Indian Wells. This has been the Gap News this morning, Saturday, 12 March, with reports from Free Malaysia Today, The Vibes and the BBC World Service. The Gap News is also available on the internet news portal Melaka Hari Ini. We hope you found the bulletin informative. We certainly welcome hearing from you. If you do have the opportunity, please do write in. We would certainly love to hear from you. Podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah.